I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is a very special one shot of Mice and Men. For anyone who has tuned in before and seen the last of Mice and Men adventure, this one will be completely different as the party finds themselves in an isolated village. It is very tiny, so small that you won't find it on any of the maps that, have the locations of all of the major cities and uh, terrain features of the world. Instead, this tiny little hamlet um, is one of the ones that just has a name given to it by the peasants who live there, and the people of this town just call it here. So you guys find yourselves in the small town of here, and I'm going to pull up the map so that you can see your characters and the village. This tiny village hamlet has the kind of roads that are just crushed gravel and a ancient well in the center of town that everyone drinks from. And as you guys approach the town, um, you can see simple farmers and uh, merchants milling about in the streets just before sunset as everyone is getting ready to call it an evening. But for seasoned uh, adventurers such as yourselves, or at least that's how some of you like to see yourselves, um, you can tell that something is amiss almost immediately, as the people are almost afraid to approach each other, and everyone is looking at each other with doubtful, wary glances, and anytime anyone coughs or anything, everyone seems to flee in the other direction. It's almost as if everyone is worried about getting sick. And so as you approach, you guys are being a little more alert and aware of the fact that perhaps something is afoot, amiss. So let's go ahead and just do a basic introduction of the characters. Since two of the three of you have pre-generated characters, I'll give you a real brief description of the character as I generated it, and then if you have anything that you would like to add to that character, you can go ahead. So, Fiona is a half-elf ranger. In my world, half-elves are not necessarily the offspring of an elf and a human, but rather a human who has elven blood in their lineage, and they happen to get the recessive elven genes to come out, sort of like how two people who don't have red hair can have a red-headed child. And so you have been roaming the lands here because everyone has always just seemed a little uneasy around you, and you've maybe been a little more uneasy around them and just felt more at home in the forests. And so you travel the wilderness and occasionally find a small village to rest at, but mostly wander the wilderness and take in the great, mountains and forests and rivers and terrain that you can connect more with the animals and all of that than you can with the people. So you have become an excellent shot with the bow and are equally competent in, survival and hunting and things of that nature. You're stealthy and can see everything going on around you with your perception. If you open your character sheet, either by double clicking your portrait at the top left or your token on the map there, uh, the second tab down on the right is your skills. And you can see all the ones that have the stars by them are the ones that you're really good at. Acrobatics, insight, being able to tell, whether someone is telling the truth or lying to you, or, anything like that. Nature, of course, identifying plants and animals. Perception, being able to see and hear what's going on around you. Stealth, I don't think really needs too much of an explanation. And then, of course, you have survival, which is your ability to track and hunt and forage, all of that. Next up, we have Franklin. Franklin is your typical human in a lot of regards, but then he's got a side that is like a, you know, um, performer's performer. He wants to be the most famous bard that ever lived. He wants to be known far and wide, and his name to be synonymous with storytelling or music or, whatever bardic talent you, the player, would like him to express. That's a little more open ended, since they don't have a specific, um, you know, like you take specific musical talents or writing talents or whatever in other editions, but here in fifth edition, you're just kind of a bard of all trades. You can write, you can sing, you can dance, whatever performance based talent you wish to excel at. That is what Franklin wants to be known for, is being the very, very best at that. And so he lives in a era where we do not have the tic tacs and the YouTubers and all that. So he has to go to these different places in order to let them know about him. If you haven't heard of me, now you have. And so you travel with these other companions for the safety in numbers, and for the fact that when it comes to, strength based situations, you are not the go-to guy. You have all of the charm and charisma in the world and are fairly dexterous. You can get yourself out of a lot of situations, but physically you don't stand a chance against a lot of situations and beasts of the wild that you might want some strength to face off against. Plus this is not modern times. There are not roadways that are constantly cleared and plowed and all of that. So you have to have somebody with you who can move a log or large stone out of the roadway. So you find it most useful to have these companions with you, but your ultimate goal is simply to make it to the next town and make sure that everyone far and wide has heard of Franklin the Bard. If you go to your skills, once again, you can see Franklin is skilled in acrobatics, but also in arcana, which is your spell casting, because as a bard, you have access to arcane magical spells. You are also good at insight because as the bard, you tend to be the face of the group. You talk to people. Quiet, dog. And you are also skilled then in performance, which do you have an idea of what you would like Franklin to be the performer of?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Franklin is a percussionist, but like a solo percussionist, kind of like a street drummer who looks for opportunities to percuss on available surfaces and improvised instruments.
Awesome. He's the medieval version of Stomp.
That's great.
So, and then finally, persuasion, which is your ability to get an NPC or even a PC to see things your way more. And although you will never persuade the king of the nation to hand over his crown to you, even if you roll a 20, you can certainly charm most anyone with your +5 to persuasion. So if you roll even a 10, you're gonna pass most difficulty classes to get a merchant to lower a price or give you a better price on an item you're trying to sell them, or convince the guard that it's okay to let you in without paying a tax this time. So, persuasion is a very powerful skill to have against NPCs, especially. Player characters still get to decide, how they respond to your persuasion. Whereas with NPCs, if you tell me, okay, I want to convince the inn to buy everyone a free round on the house, I'll tell you, okay, that's going to be difficult because the innkeeper is a miserly old man. Difficulty class is 17. And then if you roll a 17 or higher, that's the innkeeper is just going to do that. So that is the two pre-generated characters. Go ahead, Kriv, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So Kriv is a dragonborn paladin. He stands about 6.5 feet tall. He's roughly 300 pounds. Dragonborn don't have they resemble dragons, but they don't have the tail or the wings, so it's kind of like a humanborn. He has these small golden scales all over him. He carries a sword and a shield, and he's extremely proud of the clan from which he hails, and he tries to, he's a noble paladin, so he tries to help people, and we're in a town with disease, so that could be why he's here. Is that good enough?
Oh, absolutely. That was perfect. And then finally, if everybody looks at the top right, I forgot to offer this before. At the top right, there's a painter's palette easel, if you click on that, you can change the color of your dice that will roll when we get into rolling dice. So if you want to play around with that real quick while I set up the scene just a little bit further, and then we'll move forward, you can. So as you guys approach the town, you see the red shingled roofs and the lights coming on. The sun is setting and it casts long shadows everywhere. A few of the peasants are sitting out on their little porch areas there, and just enjoying the cool night air after a day of hard work. You guys are free to move about the map, and although there are no NPC tokens on the map, you can just assume that there are NPCs by each of the houses. And so, um, yep, just like that.
Question.
Yes.
You said that the half elves people kind of were wary around them. Is it hostile? Or are they scared? Or
No, it's just the uh, standard. I mean, people are always going to notice when someone is very different. Shaquille O'Neal is 7 feet tall, and you can't not notice him. And people either stand back or want to come up to him, and of course he's famous, so of course a lot of people want to meet him. But if he was just a guy, there would be a lot of people who would either avoid him or like want to meet him. And that's how it is with Fiona as a half elf, is she gets a reaction. Some of it is positive, some of it is slightly more negative, but either way, people don't just let her blend in. And so for that reason, she has, found it more comfortable to just be amongst the animals who don't care if your ears are pointy and your features are more angled and almost alien. Elves are almost alien to humans when you talk about like the straight Fey, Eladrin, and races like that.
Kriv is a big 7 foot tall dragon. Are we both going to have the same kind of reactions from people?
Yes, but it's a little bit different with Dragonborn because they're a little bit more like, what's the right way of putting this? They're a little bit more like the Klingons in Star Trek, to where they've been more assimilated into the culture than elves have. Elves and humans are not quite oil and water, but they are definitely not peanut butter and chocolate.
Okay, thanks.
So Franklin comes around the corner there, and you can see an elderly man just sitting out on his porch smoking a old clay baked pipe.
Does he look like he has the disease?
He takes a long toke as he sees you guys approaching, and you eye him up and roll your insight to determine whether or not he looks like he is ill. No, 19. So, having no bonus to insight, you still manage to have, you know, some Thundercats sight beyond sight here, and you can tell that this old man does not have any signs of being sick. He appears to be smoking away like a locomotive, just puff 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 on this pipe. And if he was sick, everybody seems to be afraid of a cough. If he had, you know, some kind of sickness of the breath, he wouldn't be able to puff away on the pipe like that.
I turn to the group and I say, "Strange, this man seems in perfect health. Maybe we should talk to him."
Can I look around and see if there are other people on that patio? I don't remember what you said.
Nope, just the old man just sitting there. As you guys approach, he takes his pipe and he points the pointy end. He's like, "Oh, that's about far enough there. I don't want you getting any closer and getting me sick."
Franklin, do you want to talk to him since I'm a sketchy elf?
Absolutely. So I'll say, Hale, could you direct us to the public house?
Oh, you're wanting room and board. Here we don't take kindly to strangers. No, we don't have a fancy room and board, but you can go ask yonder over at the mayor pro tem's house, and he'll be able to direct you to somewhere to sleep.
Can you tell us what's going on in this town?
Oh, it's terrible. You folk have come at the wrong time. This is dread times, and I fear everyone here will be dead soon. You see, what happened is people started getting sick, and then they started dying, and there were few of us to begin with. And now that 3 people have died, nobody wants to get near anybody else for fear of catching it. And the people who are dying are stuck in their houses, just wasting away, coughing up blood. It's a horrible thing. If I was you strangers, I'd turn around and leave this accursed place.
How long ago did this start?
The first person got sick almost a fortnight ago now.
Anything strange happened before?
Nothing unusual, you know. Just the standard, wyvern flying overhead every couple of months, and you know, owl bear attack on the edge of the woods, and all of that, you know.
I don't want to cut you guys off if you're trying to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Is there a doctor in town who knows anything about this disease?
Oh, what's that? What's that there, big fella? Oh, man, you got a loud voice. You want a doctor? They're busy enough trying to cure, you know, everyone here, but he just works all day in his shop and takes in who he can, and oh, it's terrible.
Who could tell us more about this event?
Well, I suppose the doc could give you his take on it. I don't know. What is it? What is it you'd like to know? Is there a specific question you have I haven't answered?
Maybe to understand the origins of it, what's causing it.
Oh, yeah. For that, you might have to talk to the doctor and see what he has to say.
Okay. You guys want to talk to the doctor?
Yeah, I was going to walk over just to the water fountain since it's right next to us. I assume since I'm a ranger, I can kind of maybe detect if it's poisoned or sketchy or whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. So, you range your way over there as a ranger and inspectigate the well. So, the first thing I want you to roll is investigation in order to investigate the well. Woo, that dice just flew right off the screen, so I couldn't tell what it was landing on, but then it hit a 7, so. I feel like if I was the player there, I'd claim it rolled off the table. So, that's a joke from when D&D was played exclusively on tabletops. If it would hit a book or roll off the table, you had to re-roll it. So, you look around at the well, but you don't really notice, anything too off. However, that was just your initial investigation. Now, because you had, as a player, made it clear that you really want to like check and see if it's poisoned, which requires you to like lower the bucket down into the well and check the water, because you can't just look into a well and be like, oh yeah, that's poison. I mean, unless it has a smell or something. But that's what we're getting to, which is perception. Now you're gonna smell it, you're gonna look at it, you're gonna do all of the rest of the investigation that investigation does not quite cover, because obviously Fiona is not skilled in investigation, but is very skilled in checking out water and finding out if it's fresh.
Yep, that's what I'm going for. Making sure that firstly that the three of us are going to be okay if we eat or drink anything here other than beer. So, which one was that? Like the perception?
Perception, yes sir. And then you just double click on it. Yep, you got it. Oh
Oh,
no. So, Fiona, as you go to lower the bucket down, suddenly a giant rat comes running up the rope and leaps off at you, and you like didn't notice it in time. So now everyone can roll initiative.
is that just dragging the D20 from the bottom?
You can drag it up onto the screen, or you can. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry, not the bottom one. Ha! I got so excited about getting the rat on here early, that I forgot to tell you. Okay, so everybody, open up your character sheet by either double clicking on your portrait or on the token on the map. Once your character sheet is open, on the main tab on the right, you will see in the middle AC and a shield underneath, init, INIT, and a number underneath it, and then your speed and a number underneath that. The INIT, that is initiative, and you can either double click it or grab it and roll it onto the table, and you want to do it just like Fiona did there. And then once that is rolled, you can go to the double crossed swords up on the top, and by opening the combat tracker, you will see the turn order and the NPC, the giant rat. So, give me 1 second. The rat is coming. It takes him a little bit to get up the rope, but that is one thing about this well that you do notice immediately, Fiona, is the water is a long way down.
Well, I don't want to be drinking any rat water, guys.
Why not? Sounds tasty.
I have lived in the forest long enough.
All right. And so now, Fiona, it is your turn. You are directly next to the rat that has leapt off of the rope and onto the top of the well there. So it's just rearing up, and it's already the size of like a house cat. And so this is, a very big rat. And I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit that even a normal sized rat is something that would make me like not want to get within 5 foot range of it. So, like a rat the size of a cat is going to definitely make me not want to be right next to it. And as a ranger with a bow, you would also be disadvantaged to try and attack a foe that is right next to you with a bow and arrow. It's kind of like reverse logic, but when somebody is right next to you with a ranged weapon, it's actually easier to get out of the way. And so the giant rat is hissing and has its claws and teeth gnashing at you, and you can draw your bow as part of the attack action, but if you do that right next to the giant rat, it's not going to go as well as if you step back. However, the disengage action is a standard action in order to back up away from the rat without provoking an attack of opportunity for leaving its threatened square. So you have a decision to make, my friend. You either have to make an attack that is not optimal, and you can do that in one of two ways. You can either use your short sword, which does less damage than your longbow, or you can use your longbow at disadvantage. Either way, it's not your optimal attack. However, you do have two short swords, so you can draw them both and make an attack with each. That is meant. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is meant to balance out the lesser amount of damage that it does per hit, because you get two chances to hit.
Yeah, I think that seeing something run up at me, I would probably jump back, since bows are my main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to turn this back on. So you can move your whole 30 feet, which is 6 squares, if you disengage and he can't attack you at all. But if you just jump back and you still want to attack, then I'm going to attack you. Oh, you want to move back? So yeah, whatever you want to do. You can move back and get attacked for free. You can move back and not get attacked, but then you can't attack. Or you can just attack where you are. You want to move back 10 feet. Okay. And did you want to use the disengage action, or would you like to still attack?
Yeah, I'll use disengage so I don't get attacked.
Okay.
Because I think I'm probably fast enough as a ranger to have some reflexes.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you roll a 20 on initiative. So, if that is the end of your turn, at the bottom of the combat tracker, you will see a dragon with a down arrow. You can click that and end your turn. All right, Franklin, you are also right next to the giant rat. And so you pretty much have the same exact choice that Fiona had, which is attack it with a melee attack or step back and use one of your spells, but you wouldn't be able to use your spell if you use disengage. However, you are a little bit better in the well, actually, no, you're about the same in melee combat. So yeah, you are not very good at melee combat. It's not your speciality. You deal enough damage with your rapier though, 1d8 damage, to where you are confident enough to pull out your rapier and stab at the rat if you want, or you can step back and still use your bardic inspiration as a bonus action in order to give anyone else plus 1d6 on an attack or saving throw.
Yeah, so I think just being right here at the top of the well and the shock of seeing a giant rat emerge, I think I'm just going to reach for the rapier and try to stab it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very normal reaction. Be like, rat, stab.
So I'm grabbing the dice that's right by the rapier.
Hold on. So the first thing you want to do is click on your token. Now control left click on the giant rat's token. Now you see how it shows the line, the little 5 feet marker that says that you're targeting the rat, and then in the combat tracker under your name it says targets giant rat. That's how you know if you're targeting something and what you're all targeting.
Got it. That makes sense.
And now that you're targeting them, you can go ahead and either double click the dice right next to your rapier or grab it and drag it over. I know some players like to feel like they're rolling dice by grabbing it and dragging it over. Whatever you want, man. All right. So you attack the giant rat, trying to stab it with your rapier. But the giant rat is nimble and dexterous and small. I mean, it is still just a house cat size. I mean, it's huge for a rat, and so as your rapier comes towards it, it kind of skitters and scurries just out of the way and hisses at you as if you are now its primary target. It was going to try to bite Fiona.
Little help here, Kriv.
And then, so would you like to use your bonus action to use Bardic Inspiration on anyone, or would you like to end your turn?
I'll use the bonus action and try to inspire Kriv to smash this rat.
Okay. So if you click on the target on by your name on the combat tracker, you'll see the giant rat token. Just click that and you'll stop targeting him. You can also do it by just control left clicking on his token on the map as well. And then do the same thing with Kriv. Yep, you got it. And then when you have your Bardic Inspiration, what you want to do is click that little token, that little icon to the right of it. Yep. Oh, yep, to Kriv. Perfect. And then see your spell slots up there? Just tick off one of your spell slots. Perfect. All right. And then you can just end your turn because you have 0 actions other than your move, which you already stated you didn't want to get attacked, so.
Gotcha. How do we end the turn?
On the bottom of the combat tracker, when you click the double crossed swords, yeah, there you go. All right, the giant rat bites at you as you're still trying to, get a stab in at it. Oh, you are just way too quick, and you get your rapier up and in a defensive position to keep the rat from biting you, and so it ends its turn. Kriv.
I'm gonna try to hit this thing. Can I hit him from where I'm at, or do I have to move closer?
No, you are in an adjacent square. Diagonal is
Okay.
just as valid as any of the cardinal directions.
Cool. So I'll swing at him with my longsword. And I can still have my shield on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You raise
Okay.
your golden shield up and swing your mighty sword at the rat. It's a hit. It's a critical amount of damage as the rat fails its system shock and drops to the ground, twitching as its tail just kind of goes completely rigid and its feet just kind of kick for a moment before it it just lies there. It's unconscious.
Nice.
Sweet. I hate rats.
I don't think there's many people other than the rat enthusiasts that own them as pets that would say that they don't hate rats.
Yeah.
And like
Rats.
even those people I don't think want wild rats.
Yeah.
All right, Fiona.
So the rat is listed as unconscious and dying. So it's not dead yet.
It is not dead and it is not dying. It is stable, which means that it will live. But you don't know that. As far as you can tell, it just looks like Kriv came up and slashed the rat really hard with his sword, and it dropped to the ground and kicked a few times, and then just went limp.
So since it's dead, I'd feel silly shooting it with an arrow. Could I walk up to it and hit it with my short sword?
Yeah, you can perform what's called a coup de grace, which gives you an automatic critical hit against it.
Well, yes, that sounds like a good idea.
You walk up, drawing your short sword, and then you already have them targeted, so you just click on the short sword. No, I'm so sorry. Don't click on the short sword. click on the plus minus at the upper right that says modifiers when you hover over it, and then you will see damage, critical. You click on that, and you just roll the damage. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, sorry, I don't. Sorry, don't see the button.
Upper right on the entire page where the easel and the combat tracker double cross swords are. There's a plus/minus.
Okay, gotcha. I got the modifiers thing up now.
Yep, and then there's damage, critical.
Okay.
And then you roll against the rat. Just the damage.
By
Double clicking or grabbing it and dragging it over to the chat. Perfect. Nope, that was the attack. You should still have the double or the critical damage on, but just check your modifiers and make sure it still says critical damage is on. And then just next to where you see the +5 is the 1d6 +3 piercing. That's the one that you want to double click or drag.
Oh, the actual box that says 1d6 +3?
Yes, sir. Perfect. So now you have dealt 9 points of damage, and the rat is instant death status dead, and the little tombstone pops up to let you know in play as a player you can tell unequivocally when a certain icon is dead by it will turn into the tombstone. And so you guys have killed the giant rat. As Fiona, do you want to decapitate it or do you want to just stab into it?
I want to chop it in half.
It is chopped in half. Its guts spill out. It stinks, but not any worse than any other animal that you've ever, opened up and butchered, which is quite a few.
So, guys, maybe we shouldn't be drinking any water or anything in this town for right now.
I think you might be right about that.
Yeah, I won't be having any water anytime soon. Perhaps we should inspect this rat. Can we do-
Yeah, absolutely. Would you like to? Fiona can roll nature to see if there's anything wrong with the rat. Anyone that wants, including Fiona, can roll medicine to see if they can tell if the rat is diseased or anything like that. You could roll arcana to see if the rat is magical in any way. There's all kinds of things that you can do in order to check out this rat. So what would you guys like to do here?
Can we all do something different? Like my medicine, I don't really have any good bonuses for this, so the best for
Yeah.
me would be medicine, which is 0.
The best for you is 0. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can even declare that you just want to roll a performance check and dance with the dead rat. Like whatever you want whatever you want to do is open. So
Okay.
whatever skills you want to try to apply to this situation.
I'll roll a medicine check.
Wow, just killing it with the +0s here.
Nice.
Mhm.
So you check out the rat, and oh man, indeed, it's got the telltale signs of phlegm and mucus and all of that all in its lungs, and it's definitely carrying some kind of respiratory disease here.
Yeah, I go. Perhaps this is where the disease is coming from.
Yeah, I think I'll follow up with one of my ranger nature skills to see if it looks like any sort of like animal disease that I might be familiar with.
Yeah, so you can roll your nature to see if you know anything about animals being sick with this. Another 18. So you have seen, this animals basically wheezing and coughing themselves to death in the wild, but they tend to become immune to it pretty quickly. Like the weak die off, and then the rest become immune to it. But you know, you've never seen it be transferred to humans or humanoids ever.
So, standing this close to the town center by the well, I think it's going to be too much for Franklin to resist. Instead of searching around for other townsfolk, he's going to attempt to draw them out using this minor encounter in the middle of the town center as a way to bring attention to himself and the rest of the party. He thinks maybe he can draw people out of out of their homes to listen to a performance, maybe a poem or a haiku or something that he's going to recite based on their encounter. Can he say, come out, we have slain the beast, listen to our tale.
Yeah, well, absolutely. This is the beauty of role playing games, is being able to, you know, have these moments. And so as you pound out a beat that goes perfectly with the rhythm of your Morrison-esque tale, as you half speak, half cast a spell over your audience with your voice and your words, and the pounding of this percussion, just accentuating all of the right notes and beats along the way. And so you roll your performance, and we see, you know, how well received it is. Well, you do your best, and it's really really good. But this town, man, it's like trying to do comedy right after a local tragedy. It just, nobody's in the mood to laugh. And although you get several, oh, I'm so sorry, Fiona. Here, you guys can move about freely again. Uh, Nobody's really in the mood to get entertained right now, and so you draw, a few of the folks, but they stay a respectful distance away from each other and you. And one of the people that comes out is a small boy. And now I am going to put the token on the map.
While Franklin was singing, I was walking over to the old man who I'm sure saw us kill the rat.
Yes.
I was going to ask him if, if he expected the rat to come out of there, if he had seen rats come out of there while Franklin was doing his haikus.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've not seen a rat that big, but yeah, we've had a bit of a rat problem. And so this young boy comes walking up, and he looks like the Walking Dead, and he is emaciated, pale, has bags under his eyes, but he just kind of stands right in front of you as you talk.
So I have a question. I'm reading Lay on Hands here, and it says you can expend 5 hit points to cure a target of one disease.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to do that to the boy?
Yes.
Okay. Is it my turn?
We're not in turn order right now because
Okay.
the boy is not going to attack you, and if you want to kill him, it doesn't require combat.
I say, what's your name, boy? Maybe I can help you.
It's it's Thomas, sir.
I'll walk up to him and I'll cast Lay on Hands.
As your golden claws touch the boy, they glow with a golden light that kind of spreads over him. He still looks like the Walking Dead, but all of a sudden he has renewed strength, and he's like, "Oh, sir, what did you just do?"
That's one of my powers. I'm hoping that you can help us.
What can I help you with?
We're trying to find out what's causing this disease. Do you know anybody who might be able to give us some information?
All I all I know is that I was I was playing by the well when one of those foul rats bit me, and I've been sick for ever since.
Hmm. We need to find out where these rats are coming from.
They're coming from the well, sir.
I'm gonna walk up to you guys, away from the old man and back to the kid. Um, was I close enough that I heard the conversation?
Well, you can roll perception um, in order to find out. Yeah, you heard.
Okay, great. Then I'm gonna say, hey, son. Do you mind if I take a look and see where the rat bit you?
Uh, yeah, it was right here on the leg.
And then I'm gonna use, um, I guess my nature and medicine are the same. Whichever one would be the right one to like look at the bite and say, like I've been in the forest and I know what's supposed to happen when you get bitten, and that does or doesn't look normal.
Okay, yeah. That would be medicine though. Yeah, you look at it, and it is readily obvious that it's infected. That's only a difficulty class 5, so it was almost impossible to not be able to tell that it was definitely infected. But like, I mean, is it supposed to get infected or whatever? Like you can't really tell just by looking at it if it did normal things or if it was strange in some way.
We'll let Franklin, figure out what he's doing with the singing and stuff. But I'll say to Kriv, we probably should go and talk to the doctor.
I agree. I might be able to help some of the other people who are infected too.
Franklin's still kind of smarting from the lukewarm reception that his performance got, and he's generally uninterested in the sick kid and kind of irritated that the kid got more attention than he did. So he's willing to go along, but not really offering any particular help at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy, where's the rest of the sick people? Can you take us to where the doctor's at?
Yeah, he's over here. Come on this way. Up the stairs. In here. Sit at the table. He'll be out shortly. I'm gonna sit over here because Franklin doesn't seem to like me very much.
So, did the kid tell us when he had gotten bitten?
No, but are you asking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start interrogating the small child.
All right. So he lets you know that he was bitten about a month ago.
Is there anybody else in this? Are we in a house or a tavern?
You're in a house. You're in my house. Who are you? What are you doing?
Why, I'm Franklin. Perhaps you've heard of me.
I've had a lot going on. Perhaps I have. I can't remember offhand.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Roberts.
Well, doctor, where are the sick people here? We might be able to help them.
They're downstairs. There's a whole area where I practice medicine.
Would you gentlemen like to go downstairs?
Well, you're out of lay on hands right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You only have 5 points, and you used all 5. So.
Do I have to have a short rest?
It is a. What does it say? Long rest.
Long rest. Damn, I didn't know that. Well, hopefully the boy gets better.
Hey, I am. I'm loving this. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. You did way better than Dr. Roberts.
Dr. Roberts, see what we did for the boy?
Yeah, yes, very impressive. What? Let me examine him. Oh my, look at that. Oh, he's completely healed. Come here, boy. Actually, I'm not gonna walk all the way over there. I'm gonna stand here. You come to me. Oh, okay. Yes, Dr. Roberts. All right. Now, what was I saying? Investigate. Medicine. Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Well, very well done there. His leg looks like it'll make a full recovery.
So good doctor. The old man that we met at the entrance to your little village was telling us that there was a lot of people sick, and we were attacked by a very diseased rat when we first came in. What can you kind of tell us about the situation here?
I told these people when I came to this town that well was rickety and built on old ruins that have been here since long before this current incarnation of here has been here, and so they just continued to used the well, and somehow they've disturbed something, and the rats have become diseased and are infecting everyone, and there's no one in this town brave enough to go down there and exterminate the rats and find whatever they have awoken in the depths that has caused this sickness.
Is the disease contagious?
Highly.
Then why don't you have it?
Because of this mask.
Oh.
Well, the old man that we walked by, he wasn't wearing a mask, and he was right next to the well. He seemed to be doing just fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how disease works. Not everybody gets it instantaneously.
Should we go down and look at the people and maybe ask them and then maybe hit the well? I'm just
Oh, no, that's off limits. Nobody's allowed in there.
Okay.
You're gonna get sick and die. I only have the one mask.
Would you say, like, most of these people down here, were they bitten, or are they getting sick from drinking the water?
Only Thomas here was bitten. I told him to stop playing by the well ever since the rats were getting more aggressive, and he wouldn't listen, would you, Tommy? Oh, no, sir, I never really listen.
If we were to go down in the sewer, do you have anything that might be able to help us?
Like it's dangerous to go alone take this?
Yeah, like medicine or something.
You medicine. Yeah, I have medicine that can be applied. It's not going to cure the disease, though. I'm still working on that. It's eluding me what to use as all of the, ingredients here. So I am able to provide you with these, and he hands you one vial each of healing potion, which I will now add to your character sheets. But feel free to continue your stuff.
Good call, Kriv.
Thank you.
So you were telling us, you think that the well is built on top of something. Have you seen this, or have you heard about this something that's down there?
It's just obvious when you go and look at the architecture and everything. The well has telltale signs of just being something that they found, that they built a little like well around.
Is there any other way down there other than going through the well that you know of?
No.
Is there anybody else where it would be useful talking to about this issue other than you?
I don't know what more you could want.
Before we go jumping down into the village as well, we should let the mayor know and that we're going to investigate the problem that they have here.
Sure.
Sure.
That's the mayor pro tem, right?
Yes. The old man made sure to mention that, like, explicitly.
Only thing, should we take a rest before we go down there in case one of you get infected? I can heal you.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
Do you want to climb down the well at night, or would you like to rest and go there in the morning?
How late is it right now?
It's rapidly approaching nighttime. It's already like sunset.
Is it too late to talk to the mayor before we figure out our sleeping situation?
That's for you to decide. Do you think that, sunset and near sundown is the time to go talk to the mayor pro tem, or is it best to wait till the morning?
Didn't the old man say that we had to talk to the mayor about lodging anyways?
Yeah, well, that is what he said, but now you guys have, spent, I'd say at least half an hour to, 45 minutes in uh, going around, talking to people, the performance. I mean, it might have even been an hour and a half now that I think about it. So as you know, there's a short window of like sunset and then it's just night.
I think, guys, you can agree or not. We just saved the life of this boy, and this mayor pro tem city is in big trouble. Maybe we should just go introduce ourselves.
Yes, let's bring the boy and show him what we did for the boy.
I was hoping to stay here with Dr. Roberts since he's been the only one who feeds me. Again, Thomas. Ugh, you can't keep coming to me for food. You're gonna have to learn to live on your own.
If you're healed, then it doesn't make sense for you to stay here. You'll just get infected again.
Yeah, but uh, there's no food at my house.
I'm sure the mayor has food.
Why would the mayor feed me?
It's okay. It's okay, Thomas. Why don't you show us to the mayor's house, and then maybe I'll be able to give you something to eat when you do that.
Look out the window there. You see the big house on the hill?
Thomas.
It's right there, right across the street. There's that big hill and then the big house.
How about you introduce ourselves? How about you help introduce us to the mayor, and then I'll definitely give you something to eat.
I'm so hungry though.
The faster
So-
you introduce us, the faster you can get a snack.
So Franklin would like to try to persuade the boy based on his small amount of local notoriety and fame that it would be a great story to tell his friends if he would rock up to the mayor's mansion with the famous Franklin.
Okay, so it's going to be difficulty class 14. He is very reluctant to go, but very grateful to Kriv for curing him because he's been sick for so long. He's just been miserable. All right,
Nice.
come on, it's this way. Sorry, I have to adjust the map. And then this is the front door.
Sorry, I seem to be stuck.
You shouldn't go sneaking around to his back door there. Fiona, you're stuck?
Yeah, my intention is to be with folks, but I can't quite. My little character got stuck.
There you go. All right, and so he says, "Well, this is it."
All right, thanks, son. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give him a snack.
Oh, thank you. And he hungrily eats the, dry, stale bread that you give him.
Does the door close? Yes.
Well, yeah.
Let's. I'm gonna go knock on the door.
I'm sorry. Let me describe it for you.
Okay.
That you come up to a luxurious, very overly stated house. There is gold trim and marble steps and, just signs of luxury that this small village just, it's so out of place here. As you walk up to the large hardwood door, there is a gold plated, at the very least, door knocker that has a shape of the head of a dragon on it, and um, the house has the lights on but is otherwise quiet.
Guys, does something seem strange about the difference between this house and the other houses you own?
Yeah, it looks like it has one of my ancestors on the door.
Is that going to be a problem there, Griff?
No, no, it should be good, if anything.
Franklin, do you want to do some magic and get us an audience with the mayor pro tem here?
Yeah, Franklin is going to use the door knocker in the most rhythmic way possible to deliver a knocking like none has ever been knocked before.
A older woman comes and answers the door and says, "Oh, the mayor is already taking his evening meal. What? You're gonna have to come back in the morning." But here's where some of the newer players should know: don't let that discourage you from trying what you intend to try anyway. That's just her, trying to shoo you away here.
I push Thomas up there next to Franklin, so Franklin can kind of show off the healed boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. They healed me. Well, I mean, if you're some kind of miracle workers, then I suppose give me a moment here. Uh, and she shuts the door on you.
Franklin sees the knocker and knocks again.
Now, when the door opens again, she says, "All right, well, he's not gonna get up from the table, but you can go and see him now." And she ushers you into his dining room, and you see a large, rotund man in what he thinks is just the height of fashion. Um, it is the most ridiculous looking, frilled, puffy sleeved, um, tabard and shirt, and he just has this frill around his neck and a hat with a large feather in it. He has his face wearing the facial hairstyles of like all of the most famous nobles, but it just on him looks like a poorly executed clone, and all of the supposedly like stylish clothing that he's wearing, it's just not working on him. And so what you see is very comical, and sitting next to him is an equally rotund, small dog. It's like a medium-sized dog. It's the small size category, but anyway, um, it has been just chewing on a ham bone and sees you guys enter and kind of growls a very non-threatening growl. And he looks up and he says, "Oh," with a mouthful of some kind of meat that you don't want to identify, any closer, given the way he's just tearing into it and talking to you while spitting chunks of it. "I hear you've managed to heal this boy here," he says, shaking a piece of meat in his direction and actually sending a piece of gravy flying from his mouth all the way onto Thomas's cheek.
Yes, I healed the boy. We are here to help your town, and we wanted to talk to you about the situation and see if we could get some lodging for the night.
"Well, I tell you, it's about time you've shown up. Just leaving us out here to fend for ourselves like this. Uh, you should have been here, from the beginning. But I suppose it's better late than never. So I guess you'll be wanting some reward money then."
While he's kind of ranting, I lean down and I try to use some of my ranger animal skills to like wink at the dog and to get the dog to come over to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll that animal handling.
14.
Oops, I was pushing the wrong button on push to talk. So you managed to get the dog to stop growling at you, but he's not leaving that ham bone.
Okay, I wasn't intending to do anything other than ruffle the feathers of the mayor.
Oh no, I get you. It's just the difficulty class was 15 because the dog has been given so much food and all of that by the mayor that he will just sit here by his side while he eats and wait for the next piece of food to be given to him.
Cool.
So Franklin is really interested in the mayor because he appears to have come into great wealth, and that's kind of his aspiration is to be rich and famous. So he, more than the dog or the disease, he'd like to know how the mayor became so wealthy, and he'd like to look around for clues as to the source of the wealth.
Okay. So you're gonna have to roll persuasion in order to get that kind of information out of him because he doesn't just give that away freely. But you can also roll perception unless you want to actually start physically walking around and investigating his stuff.
I'll go with persuasion because I've got a bigger bonus there than perception.
Well, you can do both. You can both be trying to persuade him and looking around.
Gotcha. I might need to do both.
What was looking around perception or investigation?
It depends on how you want to do it. If you're just looking around but being polite and, standing in the room with him, then you roll perception. If you actually start walking around and, like touching his stuff or looking at it really closely, that's investigation.
I want to be polite. Like, I think this guy's hinky, but I don't want to blow anything right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll just ask him. How did you come into your great riches, which are clearly considerable?
It's so gauche to ask that. Oh no, you had already rolled persuasion. You can't roll it again for that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was a perception.
Yeah.
I want to ask him what the golden dragon on the door is for.
Ah, yes. My ancestor is the famous knight, Sir Moore, and he slayed a gold dragon and got its vast wealth, and now we're fabulously rich.
I think that would piss off Kriv.
So
yeah.
by asking about the knocker, then he goes into the story of his ancestor, and it becomes clear that he got the dragon's hoard.
Sorry, quick question. Did we actually get the mayor's name?
Yeah, it's Jason Moore.
Okay. So Jason, that's an amazing story. You just told us how you got some great ancestors, and clearly you're a powerful man here. How is it that you haven't gotten anybody to help out with this dire situation in your village yet?
I don't know. As a knight, I expected the king to send aid immediately.
Well, Sir Knight Mayor there. Now that we're here, we're hoping that you could, show us down there. We heard there's a rat problem at the bottom of the well, and we're ready to investigate with you. We're here to help you.
Yeah, so you said, and I've dealt with your type before, so I'd like to discuss payment up front.
Well, clearly our services don't come cheap.
Oh, I knew you'd try to, rake me over the coals and grab all my money, but don't worry, I've prepared. What is your price?
I have no concept of currency or denominations here.
So for reference, a skilled laborer can make anywhere from 1 to 10 gold pieces a day, depending on how necessary and specific their skills are, and how good they are, etc.
So 10 gold a day, there's 3 of us. I don't know.
But that's like, someone who is like a architect or, painter, possibly like the world's best painter and all of that. Now, you guys are adventurers. That's a little bit different. So, there is no like set price for that kind of stuff, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of like somebody who would be considered to be pricey to hire would be like 10 gold pieces a day. But an adventurer can be even more than that because it depends on what threat you're facing. Of course, with the mayor, with Jason here, he's facing a pretty minor threat. You guys are level 1, but he doesn't have any help. And he does have a lot of money. So you guys can just decide what price you want to set, and then we'll see how he reacts to that and what, happens.
Well, Franklin doesn't get out of bed for less than 3 gold. So 3 for me, 2 for everybody else.
Franklin, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, as players you guys can discuss it and then go
Yeah.
forward.
So I think we should ask for like 100 gold and show him the boy and say not only can we get rid of it, but we can heal people.
I think Franklin could probably spin it and say that we're asking for just a tiny amount because it's clear that this guy, is super powerful and whatnot.
That sounds good. So what's the amount we want to ask for?
Well, if a skilled labor's 10 gold per day, there's 3 of us, so that's 30 gold, right? And I'm thinking we could go above that a little bit because we can heal. And he's got a threat on his hands that he doesn't know how to deal with. So we can ask for more in my head and see what he says. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, with that kind of baseline of very skilled people getting 10, and this being an emergency, 50.
All right, you ask for 50. Go ahead and roll your persuasion to see how he responds.
And it's Franklin making this roll?
Yes. Oh yeah, he almost feels like he's ripping you guys off, which makes him happy.
No, I say we also require a bed for the night and food.
You're not getting any of my food, but you can stay in the old I gotta think of a last name for Thomas. I didn't really have a last name. Whatever his parents' last names were, they won't be staying there anymore, will they, boy?
Can I perception to see if he was being intentionally cruel there?
Yeah, that would be insight.
$13.
All right. Yeah. Well, not okay. So how best to say this? Not intentionally cruel in the way that you would think like he was being especially mean to Thomas for some reason or anything like that. He's just kind of like that.
Then I'll say, great. We'll take Thomas back to his house, and we'll be back here first thing in the morning so that you can lead us on, Sir Knight.
What? No, you just go and take care of this, and I'll give you the 50 gold when you're done.
I mean, the king talked of you when he sent us your way.
No, I can't risk my life in something like this. These people need me.
it would sure be a shame if when we had to go back and give our report that we didn't make you the star of the show.
Well, I would expect that you would report very kindly on me to the king.
Let's see.
Well, that depends on how you treat us and your villagers.
I tell you what, I will give you 25 gold now and 50 gold when you complete the job if you just get it done and tell the king that I was instrumental and very effective in dealing with this.
I look over at Franklin and kind of give a real subtle nod.
Franklin shakes his hands and thanks him for his generosity.
And he puts a bag of 25 gold pieces in your hands. Oh, and he also refuses to shake your hands, and he puts the bag on the edge of the table and like makes you like reach for it because he won't let you get like any closer. You start to walk for the bag, and he's like, "Don't walk any closer," but it's like far enough away to where you have to like do the Michael Jackson lean and like try to reach out for it, and he's really paranoid about getting sick, and he also yeah, he makes you reach for the bag of coins, but and he doesn't let you close enough to shake his hand. That's what else.
I start nudging Thomas towards the door unless you guys have anything.
Thomas is crying.
Franklin is sure to grab the bag of gold.
I grab Thomas and console him and say, "Let's go."
All right, Franklin, roll acrobatics, and Kriv, you and Fiona and Franklin have all earned a point of inspiration during this encounter for various things that you have done. Oh yeah, Franklin. Michael Jackson, it is. You completely just lean in and grab it and lean back out and so give him the little tip of the cap like thank you very much, pleasure doing business with you.
Franklin moonwalks towards the door.
Okay.
So on your character sheets on the main page is inspiration, and you just click on one of those in order to mark that you have 1 point of inspiration.
Puts a star on me.
Yep.
Okay.
That way you can see that you have a point of inspiration to use.
Gotcha.
Looking at my inventory, I don't see the health potions.
It's under your actions.
Gotcha.
Because you all each only have one, so I didn't add it to your inventory. I just gave you an action that'll let you do it. When you end... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to nudge Kriv, since he seems to be better at talking with the boy since he healed him, to kind of look around and ask where his family is.
Yeah, I go. Where's your family at? What happened to them?
Well, I was actually just about to say, as you guys enter the house, you can see that this was very, up until recently, a family home. A not huge house, but there was definitely multiple family members here. And now it has at least a fortnight's worth of dust and debris, and the pantry is empty, and it's just in disrepair. And you can tell instantly that this boy was basically patient zero, and his family suffered the brunt of the spread of the infection, and they were the 3 people who have died.
Is it going? Is it going to be safe to sleep in the plague house?
Can we like inspect the residence to make sure there's nothing dangerous about it?
Sure.
Franklin opens a window.
Yeah. So, you would need to roll medicine in order to, like, tell if there's anything, you know, medically unsafe, unsanitary. Wow. You look around and you can tell that there is a small bed area for Thomas, and that's where he's been spending most of his time until he heard uh, Franklin start jamming. And so uh, you would probably want to avoid direct contact with that for a while.
Okay, I say the boy is infected. We shouldn't stay around the area that he was in. Let's find a area of the room that's far away from that and rest.
Yeah, I would just tell Thomas go ahead and go to sleep. Thank him for helping us and letting him know that we're going to solve the problem and heal everybody as best we can tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much. And so now you guys get your long rest, and also we are at least the halfway mark, if not further, depending on how quickly the second act goes here. So we are going to go ahead and take a quick little uh, bio break for anyone who needs to get up and use the bathroom, grab a drink, anything you need. Now's your chance to get up for a few minutes, stretch the legs, and we'll rendezvous back here in 3 to 5 minutes, depending on when everybody's ready.
Okay,
Cool.
be right back.
Awesome, thanks.
I'm back, by the way.
Excellent, so am I. As soon as everybody else is, we will keep going.
Checking in.
Right on. So, any questions so far as to how anything works on here?
I was looking at my bow and arrow, which let's see, where was that at? Shoot. Under actions, I clicked the little red dragon, and it just said it was a ranged weapon, but it didn't say like what the range was. Or it says range 150 to 600. I see.
Just an observation that remembering to target seems to be the most difficult part of it.
Yeah, you gotta pay attention to the targeting when using Fantasy Grounds, but really it's pretty straightforward once you remember that.
How do you use inspiration? Like, what do you?
So you just declare that you would like to use your inspiration, and then you get to roll with advantage on your next skill check or attack.
Okay, gotcha.
Or saving throw. Basically, any time you have to roll, you can get advantage on the roll by using inspiration.
Gotcha.
When I attacked before, I had the rat was already dead, so I only needed to use the 1d6 plus 3 button. The first button, the one that just has the dice and then it says plus 5 for me, that was the to see if I hit it at all button.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct. So now, the next morning, you guys are, ready to set off into the well. And you don't get too deep before you spot a fungus covered cave that is housing all manner of rodentia. The rats skitter and scurry in the darkness of the cave. And although there is some sunlight coming through, it is the dark vision that you have, Fiona, that is allowing you to see so clearly in here, or the low light vision. No, it is dark vision. Everybody else, and they can confirm this. There is a lot of darkness everywhere, and they cannot see the rats that you see.
Guys, we should light some torches and be very careful. There are evil rats everywhere.
Yeah, what's that noise?
You are not going to be happy when you can see it.
So who would like to pull out a torch and light it?
I need both hands, in theory, for my sword and shield.
This is
Yeah,
true.
Same with my bow.
Franklin is happy to carry a torch.
All right.
I don't know that he has one though.
You're about to. Oh yeah, you start with one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 10 at the bottom of my inventory if I need to throw one to you or something.
Yeah. So let's see if that worked. Maybe not.
I have a candle in my inventory, but no torch. Maybe there's one in the party inventory.
Oh, 1 second. I just gotta make sure that I get this right. So I click on token light, torch, and then I click on Franklin. And then nope, still no light. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna do it this other way. Wow, really? It's not allowing me to do this. I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is happening. Oh, like this? No, because that's token light. Bright 20, dim 40, flicker, yes. Add light. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Sorry, there's some aspects of the dynamic lighting that are a little bit of a learning curve in order to like really figure it all out. I've got most of it, but that aspect I've still got to perfect.
So, did you guys actually on your map in the game? Did you not see anything?
Yeah, no, they could see just the little bit of light that is coming down from the well from the sun, and then just darkness all around.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see the whole way. So then, yeah, I will explain a little bit.
Wait, I think we can see it now that the
Now that
torch
the
is
torch
lighted.
is, yeah, now that the torch is lit, we have a pretty good radius.
Yeah, as Franklin holds his torch aloft, they see what Fiona has been telling them. A swarm of rats and giant rats just milling around the fungus covered cave. It appears to be their nest.
Well, guys, we have stepped in it, so I guess we got to finish this. We can't really run away.
You've already accepted a down payment, so you can roll for initiative once again. Kriv, you're so slow.
I know. But if it was a medicine, it would have been a 20.
Yeah. All right. So now the giant rat, number one, sees you guys enter, and as the alphas of this rat swarm, the giant rats rush forward to defend the nest and try to bite Kriv. Oh man, they just bite right onto your armor, and how do you react as the rat futilely gnaws away at your metal?
I laugh. It's like, rats.
Yeah, the deep booming laugh of the dragonborn fills the cavern as the rat futilely tries to bite at him.
Are these cat rats or dog-sized rats?
Yeah, these are like small dog or cat-sized rats. The swarm of rats enters Kriv's space and tries to bite him. They climb through the small parts of your armor and begin to gnaw at your scales inside of your suit of plate or chain. You are heavily wounded, but luckily you rolled a 19 for your system shock and are able to keep fighting.
That blows.
The second giant rat moves forward. And attacks Franklin. Franklin, you are stunned as the giant rat bites into your leg. The blood loss is so much, and you remember why you have Kriv around in the first place to keep you from dealing with this. The pain is overwhelming, and you're unable to take an action this turn. Oh, what? I totally rolled the wrong thing. Darn it. What initiative was I on? It was Giant Rat 2. Okay, so. There we go. And I attack. Alright, so the giant rat once again cannot get through your armor, Kriv. It seems to be only the swarm of smaller rats, but there's just so many of them that they climb over you that are able to do anything. Fiona.
Okay, so I don't know. This is a disaster. I'm going to have to use my short swords because
Yes.
they're just everywhere, all over.
Yes.
Oops. Targeting was something right.
Control left click. Yeah, swarm of rats is a good target. Alright, so you can tell that they are resistant to your damage because it's just a huge swarm instead of one solid creature.
Since I have two short swords, does that mean I get two goes?
Yes, but you now have to roll the second one. And its damage, as you can see, it's the damage that, matters. Alright, so you swing at the swarm of rats, but their bodies just kind of part a little bit, and you don't manage to get any of them.
I still have a movement that I can do.
Yes. Okay, so you can't. Oh yeah, because the swarm of rats is technically in Kriv's space, so you can go right here,
Can I yell stay behind me?
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
I was going to jump so I could use my bow.
I yell stay behind me. I'm gonna breathe fire on them.
Oh, okay. I hear that then.
So you stay where you are?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you end your turn? Alright, Franklin, unfortunately you're stunned. So you can only take a bonus action, um, like a free action. You can drink your healing potion.
Trying to determine what I've got left here.
You have
Yeah.
3 out of 9.
Yeah, that healing potion sounds pretty good then. Let's bottoms up.
Yep, so under your actions there, you see the healing potion. You target yourself and then click on the button. So you just click on your token and then control left click yourself. Perfect. And then you click the button next to the healing potion.
I'm not seeing healing potion.
It's under actions on your actions tab and then under.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So Franklin is stunned as the rat attacks him, and all he can do is shakily reach for his vial of healing and down it. He now no longer has a healing potion. And then you can go ahead and end your turn. All right, giant rat number 4 is going to come around down here and up here by his mates. Kriv.
Okay. So how does this is supposed to be a cone?
Yes.
Fire breath.
Yes.
So how does this work?
You right click and go to pointers where it says cone, and then you can draw a 15-foot cone like this, and then you can position it, angle it thusly so that you can try to determine who you can all hit and not, because you can breathe your cone from any point in your space. So right here you would get all 3 of these rats.
I lost the map. Can you bring it up real quick? Sorry, I clicked on X by accident. Yeah. Can I breathe there?
Yes, you can.
So do I just roll damage for? I got to roll hit first, or what do I have to do?
You target all 3 of those rats.
Okay. Okay.
And then it's got the save button right next to it, and you roll that first, and then you just roll the damage because it'll automatically do it for, you know.
And now I roll damage.
Yep. Anybody who you know, takes half damage will automatically take half damage. So
And
so the rats take your fire breath damage and two of them, one is shocked, and one has dropped to 0. So they are dying and unconscious and all of that.
Nice.
So, oh, you did the damage twice though.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I
yeah.
didn't realize I hit it twice.
No, yeah, it's okay. You only did 3 damage on the second one. We're not gonna cry over it. So anyway, you just got closer to a max damage one. It's fine. I'm going to leave the tokens on there because none of them are dead yet. But you can see Giant Rat 4 is stable if you hover over it. Giant Rat number 1 is dying. Giant Rat number 3 still has hit points. And Giant Rat number 2 still has enough hit points to have the green bar. So, if that's your turn. Giant Rat number 1 is dying. The swarm of rats tries to bite you. They are unable to penetrate your armor this round.
Sweet.
Giant Rat number 2 tries to bite Franklin again. Oh no! Oh no! So now you cannot take a reaction and you have disadvantage on attacks and checks for the next round. But you're alive and not stunned, so that's something. You're also remembering why you hate going down into wells and much prefer to stay up in the town and perform. Yeah, Kriv, your armor is just impenetrable to these giant rats. So Fiona, having realized that the swarm of rats is tougher than you at first calculated, you consider switching targets to the giant rat number 2 that is attacking Franklin and preventing you from using your bow, because the swarm of rats can only attack somebody in their square and does not threaten you when you're using a ranged attack. So if you take out giant rat number 2, you have free shots for the rest of eternity.
Okay, yes, definitely that.
Very well done with the targeting.
All right, with my first sword, 16, and
Oh, he's critically wounded and manages to survive his system shock check, so he's still fighting you even as you cut a huge slash into his shoulder.
all right, I've still got my second short sword, so
A critical hit. Would you like to describe how you kill this giant rat?
I scream, I hate rats, stop biting my friends, and I cleave it.
Yes, and your cleave lops an ear and half of one side of its face off as it drops to the ground dying. Is that your turn, or would you... Oh, no, you already ended it. Yep. All right. So, Franklin, you are still good to go. You just are not completely good to go.
Okay, so the nearest target to me is giant rat number 2, which is dying.
It is dying. Yeah, it's lying on the ground, bleeding out, not putting up any fight. You could just coup de grace it, or you could use cure wounds on yourself, or you could do whatever else.
I think I would like to cast Vicious Mockery on this dying rat and seek some revenge.
Ooh, are you sure you want to do it on the dying rat or the one giant rat 3 who's still alive, just to make sure that it gets taken out so that Kriv can attack the swarm of rats or the swarm of rats? Oh no, you can't use Vicious Mockery on the swarm because it's a swarm. But yeah.
Okay, let's do the one that's still a threat.
Yeah,
We'll,
I mean, I like to let players do what they want to do. Don't get me wrong. It's just when it comes down to the end of the day, this is still a game, and in a game, or even in real life, the creature who is lying on the ground is not a threat, whereas the one who's still attacking is. Therefore, taking care of the creature that's still a threat is more important. And as an adventurer, you would know that.
very good. I just have to figure out which tab it would be on.
It's the actions, and then you go down to Vicious Mockery. You click on
Is
the dice first, and then the little damage and effect thing if you're successful. Well, if he fails, that's what you want to see is failure, because that means he failed, and now you can click on both of the other buttons. You tell him that his mother was a hamster, and his father smelt of elderberries, and he just keels over dead from the burn.
nice. So that was first action. Do I get a bonus action, or am I still
Yeah.
reeling from the effect?
No, you get a bonus action. You just have disadvantage on your attacks and checks, and no reactions, which you don't have to worry about. Like right now, I'll explain it to you, but like you don't really have a reaction other than an attack of opportunity, so you're fine.
Uh, gotcha. Then, so let's see. Who was I just targeting? It was
Giant
the
Rat 3.
number 3 is dying. 1 is dying.
Just the swarm is left, but your bonus action would just be your bardic inspiration. So if you want to cast that on one of your allies, you could, or you know, you can move or whatever you want to do.
I think I'll try to slide well out of the range of this swarm over to the corner and maybe take notes on how to finish off a swarm of rats.
Yeah. Okay, you go over here, and then is that your turn? Or would you like to cast Bardic Inspiration on someone? Okay, that's your turn. No problem. Kriv.
Do I need like the swarm of rats? Does it need an AOE or what
Uh,
if?
AoE does work better on the swarm of rats, uh, but whatever. They resist bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Are immune to charmed, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, prone, restrained, stunned, and grappled.
Jeez, there's
Is that the kind of stuff that we can see somehow?
Uh, it should be showing up whenever their turn comes up in the chat. It should print it out. Let me double check and see.
I can only use my breath once a day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have
Or
no.
once per short rest, I forget.
Yeah, so I have no choice but to. I mean, it's the only thing to attack. So I'll attack the swarm of rats with my longsword. So I will roll a hit. And I missed. Well, that sucks.
Oh, it didn't show you all the swarm of rat stuff here. Let me see if I can fix that. It says visible to GM. Visible. Okay, yeah, there. Now you guys will be able to see it, and it'll be on the combat tracker too. So if you scroll up to swarm of rats, you'll see their list of stuff.
It says here I have a heal. Is that the potion?
Your healing potion, yes.
Okay. That'll be my turn. I mean, I missed, so.
Yep. So you try to swing at the swarm of rats, but they're swarming and climbing all over you, and you're unable to finish them off.
Didn't you have a inspiration?
He does have inspiration, but you have to declare inspiration before the attack. That's a little house rule of mine. Some DMs are fine with the rules, which I do believe say that you can like still use it afterwards, or that's a house rule. Either way, it's kind of DM discretion how you view the inspiration points, since it's a variant optional rule anyway. But basically, for me, if you say you're going to use inspiration, then you can roll the advantage. If you just wait for the results and then decide to use inspiration, that's kind of gaming the system a little, not quite cheating, but definitely towing the line. Oh man, one of the rats suddenly like stands up and is ready to fight again. And the swarm of rats bites at Kriv. Oh, that wanted to be a 3, and then it was like, nope. Die. Time to die. Yep. And so, Kriv, the rats swarm all over you, and the blood loss becomes too much. You crumple to your knees in pain before the blackness overcomes you, and you drop to the ground.
Ouch.
Fiona screams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not awesome considering like you're next.
Oh, geez, let's see. So the swarm of rats are alive, and one giant rat 3 or giant rat 1 is alive again.
Yeah.
I was super ineffective against the swarm with my little short swords. I don't think it even hit them. So
Yeah, but here's the deal: because they're resistant to damage, the more times you can hit them, the better. Your bow does deal more damage, but it has just as much of a chance to hit. So instead of dealing half of 1d8 plus whatever, 3 or 4, dealing 1d6 plus 3 and 1d6, so 2d6 plus 3 would be better.
gotcha. Then that's what I will do.
Just that you understand the math on it. You can still choose
Yeah,
to
yeah. So inspiration is for would help with one extra hit dice.
No, inspiration. What happens is if you want to make an attack with inspiration, you go down to the bottom of the chat where it says ADV and DIS. That's advantage and disadvantage. If you click the advantage, it'll roll 2 d20s and you get the best result. Disadvantage is the opposite of that.
And I use that for the hit, not for the actual attack, like not the 1d6 plus 3 part.
Yeah, and it won't do it for the 1d6 plus 3. It'll only do it for the d20.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and do that since we're in dire situation.
Dire rat situation. But
Oh, and one of those was a 1, I think. So I guess it was good I did.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't know which one was the first one you would have rolled, but still. Yeah, so you only got 2 damage there, but that's okay, because now you're going to attack with the other short sword. And you can get up to 3 more damage. And 5 damage is like basically as much as you can possibly get with your other weapon almost. Yeah, okay, so 4 damage. So you're like 2 damage short of your maximum.
Okay. I guess I have to manually unselect my inspiration also, or should that have just gone away?
It'll go away. Oh, your inspiration? Yeah, no, you have to manually take that off. Yep, there you go.
Okay, that was my 2 attacks. I still have movement. Will he bite me if I try to move?
No, he will not, because he can only bite what's in his square. But you can't move through his square. Now, here's another thing that you can do when moving. You can move to a square over and then continue moving after that. So, like, you can keep moving from square to square. So, like, chart out your path so that you don't go through his square, which is Kriv's square. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and then I'll do that because these other 2 next to me, I think are.
Yeah, they're not alive. So, well, not actively fighting. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I can do.
Not really. Nope. Franklin.
Okay, I think my best bet is to try to keep a distance since I'm really kind of just rat bait.
Rat bait. Hoo ha ha.
Yeah, that might be Franklin's band name. So can I attempt to move and then keep mocking rats?
No. Vicious
So
Mockery is a standard action. Disengage is a standard action. So unless you, well, here's what you can do. Okay? If you want to get further away from that swarm of rats, you can move right here without leaving the giant rat square, cast Vicious Mockery on him, hopefully killing him, and then you can continue moving if you do.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm still targeting
Giant rat number 3, you want to untarget him and target giant rat number 1. All right, so he succeeded on the first one. The second one he failed. So you try to mock the giant rat, but he's like, that's the same insult you used on the last rat, and he's unaffected.
Gotcha. And then you said I could continue moving, or
No, because you didn't manage to kill the giant rat. So,
got it.
if you move, he's going to bite you, and you don't want to give him a free bite.
All right. So Franklin says they can see motion, and then stands very still.
I can try throwing you my health potion on my next turn, Franklin.
Yeah, you might want to, considering he just failed his. Or Franklin. Yeah. Kriv just failed his first death save. 2 more failures or 1 natural 1, and he is dead. Giant rat number 1 is back in action and decides that Kriv looks like a tasty meal and bites him. No, 19. Kriv is badly wounded as the rats begin to feast on him. The swarm of rats continues to crawl over him and feast on him. The rats look like they might make it. Fiona.
Oh, geez. Let's see. So, Kriv is dying. Franklin has, I guess, 1 hit point.
You
And
can. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to let you know like what your main options are here.
Yeah.
You can move up to Kriv and give him a healing potion, which would instantly put him back in the fight, so that he can try to attack the enemies. Which there is only 1 enemy that gets a turn in between you and Kriv. So as long as you roll anywhere near good on your healing, Kriv will be able to attack, and hopefully you guys can continue to fight and defeat the swarm of rats.
Okay, so then my turn would be a motion to move a square towards him, and then my action would be to feed him the health potion.
Correct.
And then would I move again? There was the bonus action?
Yeah, no, you can still keep moving. And so you move 5 feet up, heal him, and then you can move 15 or 25 feet back, however far back you want to move.
And the combat doesn't end when the storm goes to into the dying state. Also, we actually have to kill everything, right?
Well, I mean, if everything is unconscious and you just say you kill everything, then that's what you do. I just showed you that things were still alive with that first rat, just to show you that.
How was it that 1 rat came back to life though?
It rolled a natural 20.
Okay, so rare. It had to be the 20 to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will do the motion and then the
Yep. And then make sure you Yep, you got it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. You already had this mastered the last time.
then there's no roll for the healing potion. What do you click for that?
You just click the heal, the little cross next to it. Yep. Perfect. And that should be just enough to keep him alive through anything but a max damage hit.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was trying to move, just there so I could take some pot shots at the swarm without being too close to it next time I go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Franklin.
Okay, so giant rat number 1 is the nearest threat. I think Franklin's gonna stab at it with his rapier.
Oh, no, you already were targeting it. Just go ahead and click it again. There you go. Come on, Franklin, you can do it. You're going to stab one of these rats.
One of these days. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Your rapier pierces into the giant rat.
And then I roll damage.
Yep. It dies, or is dying as the blood starts to pour out of the wound that is left as your rapier withdraws from its furry body.
Take that.
That was amazing, Bart.
He is known for his way with words.
Okay, I think I'm gonna back off slightly more.
Yeah. I almost wanted to suggest it, but I bit my tongue and let you just decide what you wanted to do on your own.
I can use my healing potion as a bonus action, right?
Yeah, it's a free action.
Okay.
In fifth edition, you get one free interaction with an item per turn. Although some DMs house rule that with drawing a potion from your pack is a move action.
So can I attack the swarm of rats, heal, and then move?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I can,
wait, yes. That's exactly what you can do. But not without being attacked, because it's still in your space.
Okay. So they would get an opportunity attack on me?
Yes. But if you don't attack them, then you can disengage and move.
But I can attack them and heal and stay here while they
Yes.
still. Okay. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll try to hold them on me. So I will attack the swarm of rats with my longsword, and then I will heal after that.
Oh no. You swing at them, but you're so beat up and, just recently back from dying. You were, one failed roll away, because after that giant rat bit you, that automatically counts as a failure. So one more failure and you would have been dead. So you were at death's door and you just haven't fully recovered yet.
Now I can heal with my healing potion, right? So I just
Yes.
hit the heal.
Yep.
Okay.
Ah, perfect. Tops you off with just the exact right amount.
Sweet. And that is my turn.
Yeah.
And I think that was all of our healing potions also.
Yeah. Oh man, these rats are showing you guys how it's done with these death saves. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to attack with the swarm of rats. I'm just gonna roll the attack real quick. I got trigger happy there. Alright, Fiona. Oh, the swarm of rats is unable to penetrate your armor, Kriv.
Haha.
Question about the actual Fantasy Grounds UI. every time it's my turn, it dings, and that's great. But it completely resets the map and moves it and unzooms it.
Oh, I forgot you guys have to. Okay, go to options, and then right where it says turn auto center map, turn that off. That is one of the
Got it.
most annoying things about Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is so amazing, especially when compared to some other virtual tabletops. Like, really, honestly, I love Fantasy Grounds, but that is the one thing that, like, their auto center for the map is bad.
It was mostly just showing me black off the maps.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use my longbow here.
Yeah, I find it so much easier just to, like, zoom into the map at the level I want, and you can also double click on any token and it'll take you right to that token. Any token image in the combat tracker.
All right, yeah, I tried to arrow at a giant swarm and only barely hit them.
Yep, and so now you can see what I meant, where, like, even if you roll, like the 5 damage, you're only going to get 2 out of it, and so getting those 2 hits to try to double up on that is better.
So let's see. Franklin, I don't have a healing potion to give you, so I'm just going to abandon you there, and I'm going to run up since Kriv on the other side of Kriv, and I guess flank these rats for the next go.
You can't flank a swarm.
Can I at least get in melee range to it again?
You can. Actually, you'd want to be, like, right here or right here.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to get. Yeah,
Okay.
basically right there. Yeah.
Yep, no problem.
Can the swarm be mocked?
No. The swarm cannot be mocked because it is too many creatures to affect with disadvantage by, mocking.
In that case, I'd like to just give inspiration to Kriv if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just a bonus action, so you could still either run up and stab the swarm because it's going to keep attacking Kriv more than likely, you would assume, or you can try to cast sleep on it. Although you need your allies to get out of there, so. If you were to try something like sleep.
Yeah, I think so. I've got 1 hit point. I think I'm gonna keep my distance.
Yeah. You could throw your dagger.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Let's throw my dagger. Oddly enough, I don't really see the swarm on the map to target.
No, I know. I got you. That's the one thing about, like, a swarm needing to be in someone's space and all of that is it makes it slightly more difficult to deal
Looks
with.
like I could target him using the combat tracker instead.
Yeah.
So that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at the weapons, the daggers are set up for melee attack. To throw, do I change it?
Nope. The thrown one is the one with the guy with the spear. There's the one that just looks like a sword, and then there's the guy throwing the spear. That's the thrown one. You strike the swarm of rats with your dagger.
Uh, uh, so did that do no damage?
No, it did 2 damage.
Gotcha. Okay. So then before I end my turn, I want to try to lend some inspiration to Kriv.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep, good.
Thank you very much. That means I get advantage on my next roll.
No, Bardic Inspiration gives you 1d6 on an attack, or a saving throw, or a check.
Okay.
So I click on the icon that just looks like a humanoid figure.
Yep. All right. And then, Kriv, when you want to use your d6 for an attack or whatever, let me know.
Okay. I'm going to use inspiration here.
Okay?
So I'll attack with advantage.
Yep.
And I'm targeting the swarm of rats. And I want to use the damage on this, but I'll roll the hit first. So let me roll the hit. And so do I roll damage and then what do I do with the bardic inspiration?
Well, you didn't use it, so you still have it. So go ahead and roll damage. All right. The swarm is heavily wounded, and you can tell that there's not as many rats. You guys might not, be familiar with this, but a swarm, when reduced to half of its hit points, also then deals less damage. And so you can see that there's so many fewer rats that it's not going to be able to deal the massive damage it was dealing before.
How do I do the bardic inspiration?
Well, you would just tell me that you want to use it on an attack, a check, or a save. So if you're doing any of those things, you just say, I want to use my bardic inspiration, but uh, you've already hit and done damage, so there's not really anything to use it on.
Oh, okay. Does that take the place of my attack, or is that in addition
Yeah,
added in?
it adds an extra d6.
Oh,
Yeah, I had I thought you had said that you were going to roll a hit and then use the inspiration on the
yeah,
attack.
Yeah.
You can't use it on damage.
okay. I guess I just didn't understand.
Yeah, it's not an extra d6 damage, but
Oh,
ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Don't worry, there's more inspiration where that came from.
okay.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Don't
No,
be-
No,
what,
no, no,
what,
no.
what are you sorry for? You just smashed the swarm down to half health so that it deals less damage. You guys are tipping the scales in your favor now.
Cool. I guess that's my turn. I assume they'll attack me, so I'm the healthiest, so I'll stay here. And tank.
Oh, they miss.
All right, since I'm in melee range, I'll go ahead and do my double short swords.
You strike them once. Ooh, max. Not quite max damage.
Yeah, it was a 1d6
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
3s.
Yeah. I just saw the 6, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, because plus 3. Unnatural 20. Oh man, you deal 5 total damage, which is as much damage as one arrow would have done at max damage. So you're still coming out ahead.
Yep. I'm just going to I'm going to stand here and end my turn.
All right, so you're out of daggers. Your vicious mockery won't work. What do you do? You can cure yourself, by the way. You have cure wounds that you can cast.
That seems like a good use of this turn. So I need to target myself.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, you're feeling much better.
There we go. And then we'll try the Bardic Inspiration trick again.
Yeah, but Kriv already has it. So he can't have 2 instances of it.
All right. Well, you get an inspiration, and you get an inspiration, and you get an inspiration.
Everyone's getting inspirations. Look under your chairs.
I feel inspired.
What he doesn't tell you is you got to cover the taxes on that inspiration.
Okay, so it's obvious what I'm going to attack here. Now, I guess my best course of action, because the inspiration is actually less damage than what I would normally do, is just to attack again. Does that sound...
No. The Bardic Inspiration adds a D6 to your attack roll.
Okay.
The chance to hit roll.
Correct.
Okay. So I will do that.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, now you may roll your attack.
Okay.
See? And now you hit because of that.
Okay, I got you. I thought it was damage, so that may... Okay.
Yeah, you would have missed just there. Instead, they are critically wounded, as there are only a few rats left now.
That's because you're rolling with Franklin.
That's right.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Franklin.
I know. Benjamin Franklin. No, just... Oh, that's my turn.
All right. I am gonna eat ya. Gonna get you, gonna eat ya. Oh no!
All right. So I've got an inspiration also somewhere. I don't actually see it anywhere, but I thought I had one.
Didn't you use it? Yeah, you used it. Right?
Oh,
yeah, because you asked if you had to check it off.
Sorry, Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, Bardic. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, it's good to go. And I'm sorry, I got a lot going on, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so double short swords.
You just got to be specific because there's so much that I got to keep track of, you know? And you players are always trying to cheat. Always trying to get that extra inspiration point. I'm on to you.
I rolled the dice, but it disappeared. I'm gonna roll it again, I guess.
Yeah, roll it again. It probably didn't land in the chat window. I call that rolling off the table. Hey, what the heck? Why didn't it roll your thing? It said that you're... Okay, hold on.
It should be a critical hit, right? If that's...
Well, no, but his Bardic Inspiration didn't... Somehow it got deleted or something. Well, either way.
I mean, I still hit it. So
Yeah. Still though, that's not right. All right, go ahead. Like you can watch this on YouTube later, and you can see I like literally added it, and then somehow it just went away.
okay, and second short sword.
Hold on. I'm gonna give it to you now.
Okay.
All right. So there. I want you to get you the benefit of the 1d6 at least once, you know. Aha. Still would have been a hit even without it, but whatever, you know. I believe in balancing the universe like that.
I can't pick up my 1d6 scroll.
Oh no. There you go. Oh, 1 damage, the minimum. Well, that technically 0 is the minimum, but
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep standing here.
all right. Franklin.
Okay, so recently healed and feeling really proud of his inspirational abilities. I think Franklin is going to charge the swarm of rats with his rapier. So that would be a movement and then an attack?
Yes, sir. You're stepping on the body of the unconscious rat as you stab at the swarm. A unnatural 20. You strike the rat. Dealing 1 damage.
Take that.
I look at Franklin and say, "At least you showed up."
Yeah, and that's that razor sharp bardic wit once again. That's why it cuts so deep with the vicious mockery. Take that. You know, if these rats had enough intelligence to talk, I would have them quip you like Spider-Man bantering Doc Ock. But they're rats. They don't get to do that. Is that your turn, Franklin?
Yeah, is anybody in need of inspiration to deal the death blow here?
Well, you know, Kriv is going to get his turn next, so if you have a point of inspiration left, then by all means. How many points do you have right now, though? I thought you only had 2.
You're right. I think I dealt them out.
I don't need it.
Hold
Very
on,
good.
let me double check though. You do bonus action. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. So yeah, no, you can use it 3 times. 1 more.
Oh, well, in that case.
Oops,
Sweet.
you forgot to untarget the swarm of rats, so now they're also inspired.
Oh,
Oh
no.
no!
They've just been Franklin.
You've killed us all.
What have you done?
So do I have inspiration?
Yes, would you like
Okay.
to cash it in?
I would.
Okay, so this inspiration goes away, this inspiration goes away, and your attack stays.
Okay, so I can roll hit now and it's on there?
Yes.
Ouch, that was terrible.
And yet, exactly what you needed to get that hit. So, oh, you finish off the last of the rats, swinging your sword down and slicing its head off. The rat swarm is no more. You guys are bloodied, especially Franklin and Kriv, but not beaten. And the rats are all, unconscious or dead.
So since they're all unconscious, we can probably just kind of stab them to death.
Yeah, yeah. You guys go around and make sure that you finish off all of the rats. But now, you look around the cavern, I assume. So who wants to roll for investigation?
Since there's funguses, can I use some of my Ranger Woody skills?
Yeah, you can use nature to see if you know if these are, dangerous or anything. Even though you guys have been kind of stepping in them already. No, this is just, some regular algae and moss and, what have you. There's nothing, particularly dangerous about any of the fungus growing here.
Well, what's your investigation, Franklin? Mine's -1. So
I'm at no bonus on investigation.
yours is better than mine, so if we're gonna roll it, it should be you.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to investigate the corpse of the rat.
Now, here's something you guys can do. The corpse of the rat? Okay, go ahead. Um, it's a rat, much like the one that you guys killed up on the surface. It's bigger than your average rat, but not, anything to write home about.
Can I roll investigation too? I mean, I'm on -1, but we need to find something out.
Well, what would you like to investigate?
The room?
Okay, go ahead. And just so you know, when you're investigating the room, instead of everybody rolling investigate or all of that individually, one of you can roll investigate, and if you get above a 10 for aid another, then whoever you want to roll investigate can roll with advantage. So if one of you aids someone else and gets above a 10, then the other person gets to roll with advantage.
Well, I'm -1 investigation, so
Yeah, so you have a 45% chance of getting above a 10 in order to give one of your teammates advantage on their roll.
okay.
My investigation is a 0 as well, but
But they've already investigated. They've already taken their turns, right?
Well, he investigated the rat.
Okay.
and I used nature on the funguses.
Right.
I'll roll investigation and see what happens. And that sucks.
Yep. Nope. You neither find anything nor help anyone find anything. But you guys have cleared out the rats and are able to return to the mayor pro tem, and find out, if he was keeping true to his word about the pay or not.
I think we should bag up the rats and make sure that the mayor gets them. So as proof that we did something.
Sure. Let's do it. We don't have to take all of them, though, right?
Let's just take the swarm.
Well, it's not like one thing. That would be picking up like dozens and dozens of rats. But I mean, you guys could like fill one pack with rats and call it a day.
Yeah, enough to make a splash on his dinner table.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like grab them all, I mean, whatever. But if you fill one pack, like that should be good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, enough to prove that we did the job.
All right. So you guys gather up enough rats to, make a pile and climb back up to the surface. There are a few people kind of gathered around. They heard what was going to be happening and wanted to see the heroes as you guys emerge, all dirty and scuffed up and covered in blood. You look like Leonidas at Thermopylae, and it is a glorious sight as like some people, I mean, I'm not going to say like the crowd cheers here, like this is still a very somber mood here in the town, but some people kind of give you a huzzah, a slight, hooray, and, kind of give you the respect that you deserve for completing an adventure.
Yeah, so let's push through the crowd and go visit the mayor and get our money.
Oh, I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it a crowd. You certainly don't have to do any pushing. There's like 7 or 8 people gathered around, and like 3 of them kind of gave you a golf clap. So, yeah, you guys make your way to Mayor Moore's house, and he is watching out of the window as you guys come up, and his servant answers the door, and she says, "Oh, the mayor is expecting you. Please come in." And she leads you back towards the mayor's office, and he says, "Well, you have certainly won the crowd over, haven't you?" And he says it very pointedly and sarcastically.
Who has the rats?
I'll throw the rats on the table.
"Ah, that's disgusting! You savages!"
Where's our reward?
"Oh, you think I'm going to pay you after that? Ugh, uh, here, take this and be off with you." And he tosses you a bag of like 20 to 30 silver, like, 23 silver. It's 2.3 gold.
Sorry, Mayor, pretty sure that was 50 gold that we had agreed on.
You already have 25 gold, and now I have to have these rats cleaned out of here, and I might catch the plague. I should have you arrested.
Perhaps we should arrest you.
But under whose authority? I was knighted by my father.
Could Franklin cast Charm Person?
Sure. So for that, I'm just gonna roll a d20 to see if I save. I do not. Oh,
Franklin,
my friend, you're back. Why were we getting upset? Oh, please, here, take this gold, and here, have my hat as you know, compensation for your troubles. It's very jaunty, is it not?
Oh, very jaunty indeed. I mean, we have nothing to quarrel about. We've got this sack of rats and a sack of gold, and, maybe we should trade.
Yeah. Here is the gold. Although I must say, as my friend, I do wish you hadn't had these rats dumped out on my table thusly. But nonetheless, you are my good friend, and now I have paid you as agreed upon, and I hope that you understand that I'm going to have my servant haul this table out and burn it.
That seems fine. I guess I'd like to indicate to the fellow adventurers that maybe we should make our exit with the gold before the spell wears off.
I have a question for the mayor. What about all the people in the town now that the rats are gone? What are you going to do with them?
I suppose we'll burn the dead and quarantine the sick, and do what we can.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's take this gold and be on our way to the next venue if we could.
Yeah.
Do it.
And with that, we draw to a close. You guys have successfully completed Of Mice and Men, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.